Well, welcome back to American Agenda. I'm Heather Childers along with Bob Sellers. It's called dark money. Groups supported by anonymous donors who contribute huge sums to sway politicians and causes. Well, a new report says that a coalition of liberal dark money groups seem to be behind efforts to expand and pack the Supreme Court with liberal judges. Massachusetts Senator Ed Markey and New York Representative Jerry Nadler are leading the efforts to expand the court from 9 to 13 seats. So who is really behind the move to pack the court? Dennis, I'll start with you on this. Does it concern you the level of the relationship between these left-wing activists and members of Congress?
Yeah, it does, and it always has. You know, when Citizens United decision came out, the left just beat up the Supreme Court for doing this, for saying that corporations have First Amendment rights of free speech and they don't need to account for who their donors are when it comes to issue advocacy. But then the left also capitalized on that, and that's what they're doing in this particular situation. It's interesting because it's not so much about the issue. It really isn't. I mean, the issue is bad. We do not want to pack the court. But what they're able to do with independent expenditures is influence these campaigns. So Senator Markey's campaign, it doesn't matter if he ran a bill to reduce the size of the court. He knows that if he doesn't pander to this dark money that's out there, they can influence the outcome of his next election because they can do it without accountable sources of funds. It has to be addressed, and it's a very difficult line to cross and to balance when you're talking about campaign finance because individuals have a fundamental right of free speech. Now that's been extended to corporations almost unfettered with Citizens United. The left is grabbing onto this and using it to their advantage.
Yeah, we've all heard, or most folks have heard of Citizens United. We also have Demand Justice, Take Back the Court, and Indivisible, amongst some others that seem to be forming. Stacy, what does need to be done?
Well, I think the first thing is we as citizens have a huge amount of power in this thing. There's this new group that is called Stop Corporate Tyranny. They have a website, and what they do is they give citizens, individuals like myself, the opportunity to go on their website and join campaigns and do issue advocacy directly to corporations and their boards. So you have like the Sleeping Giants group that does all of this advocacy to these boards. Americans need to take advantage of opportunities like that to have their voices heard at the corporate level. And then those who are in elected positions need to say, I'm not going to hear from your lobbyists if your corporations that support that lobbyist are actually going out and, you know, let's say attacking election integrity in Georgia. Companies that engage in that, your lobbyists will not be seen in my office because you can't have it both ways. So I know that could hurt possibly because lobbyists obviously use money to influence these candidates, but someone's got to have a line of integrity and get behind it and say, you know, I'm not crossing this line or else we're getting nowhere because the liberals don't have integrity. So we've got to have some in order to operate.
Andrea?
Yeah, well, I'm very concerned. I understand what both of our guests are saying here, but I'm very concerned with what's happening with the left in the push and their goal with taking over our justice system at a variety of different levels, whether it's at the Supreme Court and their goals there, or whether it's at the lower courts. Let's look at what some of the dark money has done in our legal system here in the form of George Soros, who has decided to attack and go after district attorney races. So many times we focus so much on congressional races and the president, and we forget the local races. George Soros tried to take over and tried to get our district attorney race here, and he lost here. But where did he win? Look at Kansas City. That was the DA in Kansas City that didn't prosecute domestic terrorists who broke into private property and threatened the lives of homeowners, but arrested the homeowners. We can not overlook what the left is trying to do. What is the purpose of this dark money and the way that they're trying to weaponize every aspect of our legal system against the citizens? We need to be very concerned, and we need to be stopping what they're trying to do with the Supreme Court, because if they're able to get control over the Supreme Court through stare decisis, then they've got us completely under the hook of the Democrat control.
Yeah, imposing term limits on judges, Bob, and also expanding the lower courts as well. What they're trying to accomplish doesn't just stop with packing the Supreme Court.
Oh, that's what I was just going to say. It's also another state out of D.C. and Puerto Rico. It's gun laws. All kinds of things would happen if they had their way right now. So the money behind all of this, trying to fund it, Citizens United essentially was saying you have free speech as a corporation, you're an individual, you can spend as much as you want. There's not enough transparency, though. Where's the money coming from?
Correct.
Where's it going? And I think if people knew that, they would see what the ulterior motives were of the people making those donations.
Yeah, where's the money coming from? What is it going
where's
for?
it going?
And who's running our government? Who is really running our government? That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break here. Thank you, everybody. Stand by.